Hi friends, welcome to my channel. I am Sonique. Thank you for being here. Today I am looking at a new deck that goes alongside an older deck that I have. So this is the This Might Hurt Tarot deck by Isabella Rotman. Mine came with this line going through it. I think I've shown this deck before. Not sure, but I'm sure I think I've done a walkthrough. But this is the independent version, not the mass market. I actually don't have the mass market deck. Now the thing, it is a Rider-Waite-Smith. It looks very much like the Rider-Waite-Smith, but it says it's modernised. It has diversity, it's embracing diversity and queerness. It's lovingly acknowledged. What I found about this deck is very cartoonish. Yeah, it is cartoonish in my opinion. So this is the inside. As you can see, very cartoonish. That's the inside. But you can get this mass market now. It is a little bit different. This one's got holographic edges. I don't think the mass market has any edging. I'm sure there will be walkthroughs of comparisons with the mass market and the indie version. I think the backs are a different colour, but I don't think much else is changed. Maybe the cardstock is glossy, whereas this is matte, and it's very clumpy. I must admit, it's really, really clumpy. Anyway, so the reason I'm highlighting this deck today is because there's a companion deck called the This Might Help. So yeah, let's get the cling wrap, the plastic off. So I'm not sure whether the mass market version of This Might Hurt Tarot, if it's bigger than the indie version, or the box anyway. So does this open? Oh, it's like the Liminal 11 ones. Yeah, it opens from the bottom. Oh, yeah. Okay, let's have a look then. So, 78 cards and book. It says it's an oracle. This might help. There's the edges. Alright, so it says this beautiful illustrated 78 card oracle deck. So it's the same amount as a tarot deck, 78 cards. It features animals and objects from the tarot, delving deeper into their meanings and symbolism. Okay, so we're going to take a deeper dive into the symbolism. This insightful deck will help you analyse situations, observe personal reactions and discover unconscious motives for your conscious actions. Use clarifying cards in conjunction with a tarot deck or on their own. No matter where your journey of understanding takes you, this deck will help you find your way. And this is by Sterling Ethos, which is very strange because Liminal 11, I'm sure, have the same sort of boxes of this. I mean, I've got the White Noom and I've got a few of their decks, and that's how they come. You pull them out like that. That's the inside. Oh, that's nice. Oh, okay. Yeah, it's very much like Liminal 11 with a bit of cardboard there, the guidebook and the cards. Oh, this is beautiful. I do like this illustration. Okay, let's get that out then. Have a look. Oh, card and card and card. Oh, there we go. Okay, so this is the guidebook. It's getting quite small. Smaller than the tarot book. $20.26. Okay, so the cards themselves are quite small actually. They're smaller than the tarot. Got a white band on them. But they've got the same number as the corresponding tarot card. Oh, we've got a dog. We got a dog. Oh, okay. Let's zoom in and have a look. So we've got the same colour palette there. So we're highlighting the dog on this card, and there's the dog. Magician's Wand, which is actually the Magician's Candle. using as a wand. Now, there are some cards in this deck I do not like. There's a lot of cards I do like, there's some I don't. There's just something about them I'm not keen on. This is one of them. I don't know why I don't like it. Oh, that finger seems totally out of proportion. Okay, so we've got the veil at the back of the High Priestess here. So it's highlighting one symbol, not all of them, but one symbol from each card. And still got the trees there. We're not supposed to look behind that veil. Okay, so we've got the star crown, the 12-star crown from the Empress's hair, top of the head, and the Empress is actually holding it out, and we're looking down at it. We've got the ram for the Emperor, cross keys, Eros, well, his bows, actually Eros isn't there. We've got these hands here. The one thing I really don't like about this deck, I'm not going to harp on too much about what I don't like. The one thing I really don't like is the use of motorbikes and bikes. There's too many. I mean, we've got the steed here, the chariot, and these two. I think every knight has got a motorbike. And there's another one, there's a push bike as well. I don't like motorbikes in my deck, so don't like it. Just saying. Like that there. The Egyptian symbol. We've got the garland from the strength card. The Hermit's lantern. Snake from the Wheel of Fortune. I do like this Wheel of Fortune actually, because we've got like all the elements on the outside. So we've got the fire, we've got the earth, clouds and rain for water, and then we've got the air there for the swords, for air. The battered sword. I do like the battered sword actually. I think it's very telling that the sword isn't pristine. It's actually being used, and being used a lot. I do like that element. And I also sort of like the hangman. It looks like a lumberjack. A very happy lumberjack. But the bird, it's moved positions actually. The bird's got bored and jumped up to the top. I like this death card. It's the banner that we're highlighting here, but if you look here, we've got like this guy here offering money to be saved. We've got this religious person offering up a prayer. We've got this girl sort of turning away and not wanting to acknowledge it, and then we've got this little child here who's offering up a flower. It's nice. You know, we've got all the symbology from the Rider-Waite-Smith. You know, we've got the two towers, which reminds me of the moon. But here from the other side, because we can actually see the sun. And we've got the ferryman on the river Styx, as I see it. There's lots of symbology. They've chosen the white rose. It's Temperance in the middle path. Temperance is my card, as I'm a Sagittarian. I do try to take the middle path. So it's highlighting this part of the card here. That's nice. I love this devil because he's having a smoke. It is really clever. And if you look here, you see these chains here. If you look here, they're all red, all these chains. All these party people. The lightning bolts. So we've got this part here. The star. So we've got the ibis bird, which is very important in the star card because it aligns to Thoth, the god. So we've got the mask from the masks in the moon. I do like this card, very much so. Is what we see real. This is my favourite. Obviously it's my favourite, it's dogs. And apparently it's to do with Isabella's own dogs. I think that's beautiful, and I love the sun's face in this card. We're highlighting the actual sunflower. It's a shame that sun is just yellow and not part of that, but anyway, I don't suppose we could do that. And this, I like this judgment card. But we're highlighting the feather of truth here. But I like the fact that this individual is between the heart and the feather. I think that works really well for a judgment card. The final reckoning. And we've got the world card, so we've actually got this Ouroboros here. The two snakes. And again, I like this one because, again, the corners are quite easy to interpret, you know. Water, fire, earth, air, and the suits. So that's great. Okay. Ace of Wands. We have the city, so the background here. Two of Wands. This always reminds me, this card, of Chrysan's Lightseers. And we've got the young girl with the camper van and the making plans to travel. And here we've got the map. Three of Wands, the good view, so the view out of the window. You should be getting on with your work, really. We've actually got the hoopah, which is this. Oh, the little rabbits, little rabbit family. We've got hands holding it there. Look at this, Five of Wands. Look at this dog. Ooh, that's quite, I don't know. Not an easy image, is it really? So we have the victory wreath from the Six of Wands. Again, yeah, there's this bicycle, the push bike. Don't like it. Well, that's not nice, is it? Didn't see it coming, huh? The loose arrow for the 8. This is my Artemis card. Really reminds me of Artemis. This is this a little bit, really. She defended, didn't she? I love this Nine of Wands. You know, these pencils all chewed up. And also it's one of my birth cards. So I do identify with this. I think the apple core there. Love this card. I love stationery, so that helps as well. The bird again, you know, we had the bird on the Hanged Man, now the bird on the Ten of Wands, adding extra weight. Page, not keen on that one. We have the instrument. So here we go, one of the knights on a motorbike. And we've got the salamander. Where's the sun? There's the salamander. It's difficult to see, but it's there on the shoulder. And we can see he's going at speed because his leaves have been blown off in the wind. The cat from the Queen of Wands, of course, we had to have the cat. Because we had the sunflower on the sun card, didn't we? So we couldn't have it on both, but they're actually drawing a salamander there. The king, I like this king. We've got the bonfire, but I like we've got control of the element there. Totally in control of that element. Oops, water lilies. We can actually see underwater here as well. We've got the lion here, the winged lion from the 2. Lovely card, isn't it? These takeaway cups. Very modern. And we've got takeaway cups as well in the 3. We've got a copper here, a hot drink for the 4. This person is meditating and obviously been there for a while. We've got the elemental symbol on the top of these cards. not the numbers, because we've got the numbers on the majors and they're not Roman numerals, they're normal Arabic. So it would have been confusing, wouldn't it? And we've got the spilt cup, so that's what we're focusing on here. Is it interesting that the building here has got this crack through it? I always thought that was interesting. Broken home. That's what I see there, broken home. We've got the potted plant for the Six of Cups. That nostalgia card. The Seven of Cups again, we've got these sort of planters here. We've got a worm being brought to the little baby chicks there. So we've got these choices: family, home, education, travel. Also we got money. So, you know, we've got all those symbols there, but we're choosing to actually focus on the clouds at the bottom here, which is interesting. Cloudy thinking. Ace of Cups again, the broken cup was. So it was the broken one in the five. And the Five of Cups, and now the spilt cup, didn't we, in the Five of Cups. And now we've got the broken one, although it's a glass, in the Eight. And it's unusual that they are broken in the Eight of Cups. We don't see them broken in a Rowan Smith, do we? The Nine, we've got the Potter's Cup. And then we've got the nest here, but here they've actually hatched in the 10. It's got the fish. Remember, we're going to the fairground, getting a fish in a plastic bag. They never lived very long either, did they? Here we go. See, another motorbike here. You can't be going very fast though if they've got this takeaway cup here. But it's the winged helmet we're looking at, Hermes. Queen of Cups, the deep water, that's cool, isn't it? And the moon has changed as well. We've got the full moon there, or the dark moon. I'm not quite sure if it's the dark moon or the full moon, but here we've got a crescent. So time seems to have moved on there. The King, so we're focusing on the sea here, this stormy sea, but he's in control. Ace of Swords. The cold cliffs, how interesting. The cold cliffs. I've never really thought about cliffs in an Ace of Swords. So, oh gosh, I don't like that. That's awful. Aesthetically, that is not pleasing to me. This, you know, it's not a blindfold, is it? It's a black line. No, I don't like that. Sorry, don't like it. Hate this card, hate this. Pierced heart, don't like it at all. The set aside sword. Four. Nasty, ill-gotten sword. Ooh, I'm stabbed with it. The following eel, so this eel here, we don't escape our troubles, do we? A 7, the shadow in the window, which is there. Creeping, red eyes. We've got the restraints for the 8 of Swords, so we actually can't see that. This is the other side, isn't it? The 9, the nightmare. There's the demon sitting on us. This is sleep paralysis, which I've had, and that's exactly what it feels like. It feels like your chest is being crushed and you can't, when I had it, I couldn't get out of it. I couldn't open my eyes. I couldn't push myself. In my dream, I was trying to push myself upwards and I couldn't do it. Oh, it was horrible, horrible. Didn't like it at all. Anyway, we have a sunrise. Thank you. The 10 of Swords. The Page, a double-edged sword. Look at that. Helpful, harmful. Again, Knight of Swords on a motorbike. Just don't like it. We can see the speed because of this. Looks very, very like Pamela Coleman Smith trees, isn't it? But yeah, we can see the air, the impact of the air on the trees, and then we're focusing actually on the bird. Queen of Swords, the open hand or the helping hand. And we've got the bird. Don't like this image. I think there's another deck where it's strength. Is that the Next World Tarot? I think it's got a wheelchair as the strength card. But here we've got the King of Swords. I don't know why I don't like it, but I don't like it. Sometimes we just don't like things. This is really nice, focusing on that garden and the arch through. But we don't see any mountains in this one, whereas I see them in that and the Rider-Waite-Smith. Bobbing boats. So we're looking at the background in the Two of Pentacles. This bird. You can almost hear it screeching. Hammer and chisel for the 3. Just focusing on the coins here for the 4. And we've actually got flowers, and this isn't, you know, it's very full, it's very structured. We don't really see flowers in a 4, do we? Not sure about that. The Winter Storm for the 5. Completely different scene. We've got the scales for the 6. So sassy. The fruits of labour for the 7. So here they're sort of ripe for the picking, which is not really what we get with the 7 of Pentacles. 8 of Pentacles, the uncarved pentacle, the one yet to be done, one of these. We've got the hooded falcon that we see in the 9. Paper lanterns. Oh, okay, instead of the pentacles, they are actually paper lanterns, which I would not have picked up on actually. There you go. I like this card because it does follow the Rider-Waite-Smith, where we have the old gentleman, the dogs that recognise them. You know, a bit like the Greek myth, where the dog Argus is the only one that recognises his master, Odysseus, when he comes back from his adventures. However, the child is touching the dog. And if we think about this, this is the Fool. This is the original Fool passing on to the next generation and the Fool's dogs. That's how I see it. And I can't remember where I got that information from, but it really touched me. Page of Pentacles, we have the flowering field. We've kept the mountain. In the night, the fertile earth, that works really well, apart from the motorbike. What's with these motorbikes? I don't like them. But we've got an alternative view of the farmhouse there. Lush. You know, he's going to go across those fields on that motorbike. He's going to tear up those fields. That can't be good, can it? So we've got the jackalope from the Queen. Lovely. And the grapes from the King. We've also got a bird. I don't think we see a bird in the actual King, but he looks like so relaxed. So relaxed, and always reminds me of the Emperor. So I'm sorry if I'm bad-mouthing this deck, but I do find I don't like all the cards, as I've said. I don't really use it. As you can see, it's in good condition. I haven't really used it because of this caricature, this almost Disney-esque version of the Rider-Waite-Smith, which didn't really align to. So I thought, I'm going to give it a go. I'll give it another go and see how I get on. You know, maybe this time I'll be all right with it, apart from those motorbikes. Don't like them. I'm a little bit disappointed that we've only got one aspect of the card that is highlighted on this might help. So how might this help this deck? Is it just going to help us by giving us more information on one of the aspects within the card? Because I have got the tarot disassembled, and I've got a beef with that as well, and I'll tell you why. So yeah, this tarot disassembled guidebook, I've already found one inaccuracy in the Chariot card. Okay, so yeah, on the Chariot card here, you see this symbol? That is the yoni and lingam. In this tarot's disassembled guidebook, where it breaks down all the symbols, it tells us that it's actually a mallet. It says it's a mallet. Look at that. In Freemasonry, the mallet holds special significance as the first tool the apprentice learns. It also is a symbolic tool of the highest office, Master Mason. This beautifully illustrates the movement the chariot symbolises from one checkpoint to another, and the potential for extreme success when we finally commit ourselves to our goals and work hard. Okay, that's all very well and good, but actually it's not a mallet. And it means something completely different. So if you've done, any Rider-Waite-Smith serious study, you would know that. And it makes me wonder what else is inaccurate in that book and how it's misleading people who are actually trying to learn the Rider-Waite-Smith, because that's totally inaccurate. I haven't been through everything in this book, but it's put me off, to be honest. Being completely honest about it, it has totally put me off. So anyway, that being said, let's have a look. What should we take? The Four of Cups. Let's take the Four of Cups and see if we can find it. So it's going to be water. Can we find it easily? Yeah, that is. Hot drink. So what does it say in the guidebook? Oh, this typeface is terrible. Pink on pink. Hello? We're not all 15. I can't read that. It's going to be difficult. I can, but it's difficult. Okay. Might stand a chance because I've got it quite close to the screen there. It's got a quick guide to the cards. And then we're into the meanings. So the hot drink, here we go. Let's try and read this. The Four of Cups, a hot drink, a gift. The Knight of Cups carries a hot cup of coffee to their lover. So it's saying it's the Knight of Cups. In the Two of Cups, long-term partners embrace lovingly while holding warm cups. In the Four of Cups, an off-panel hand offers a steaming mug to a woman who is lost in herself. The hot drink is an offering of something good. It is a gift. In tarot, cups represent emotions or the source of emotions. Upright cups symbolise opportunities or relationships with the potential to provide happiness, joy, and fulfilment. To receive a cup from another person is to be given a gift that could make your life better. And a piping hot drink, that's something that makes you feel warm. As a clarifier, the hot drink will fall on a card that should be thought of as a gift. This card is an opportunity for something positive, whether or not it feels that way now. That's interesting, because we don't actually need to totally align them to the same card in the deck. So, yeah, that's going to be interesting, actually, another way of working with this. So say, I don't know, let's have a play. Let's have a little play while we're here. I'm going to pull a card from the tarot and then one from the oracle to clarify it. That should be fun. Let's see how this lines up. Okay, let's do this. So what do we have? Oh, Nine of Swords. Okay. And then how can we clarify this Nine of Swords? map. Okay, so I'm going to look at the map in. This isn't useful because to actually find this card, we've actually got to find it without an index, and this might help. So now we know, well, this is going to be a fire card, so it's a wands. It's the two of wands, I know that. But would you necessarily know that? So presumably, if we go this book, I can find the two of wands. Yeah, the map. So you need actually to know your tarot to be able to use this. So we've got the Nine of Swords, so the map, the lay of the land. To be alive is to be at sea, both navigating the world and finding ourselves lost in it. We are constantly locating ourselves in relation to others, places and moments in history. We are trying to the best of our ability to chart a course towards happiness out of difficulty and toward our goals. The map is the information you need to chart that course. The map urges you to gather information. You do not need to go entirely off instinct or try to read minds. Others have travelled this path before, and some of them took notes on what they found. Once you know the lay of the land, you will be able to make informed decisions about the best route to where to go, to where you want to go. As a clarifier, the map will land on a card where gathering information is important. That's really cool, actually. Either the card, the map, clarifies the information you need, or refers to a situation in which you must gather more information in order to make an informed decision. That works well. I can see how these two are going to work together. I'm going to play with those. That's really cool. So we need to know how to get out of a Nine of Swords situation, and we're going to use a map to do that. We're going to ask somebody who has already travelled this path. In the guidebook to the indie version of the tarot deck, they're black and white images, and I do believe in the mass market version they're colour images. So this is the Nightmare card. 9 swords surround the head of a woman who is overcome by mental anguish. Swords represent thought, so here we have a glyph for overthinking. The 9 of Swords rules anxiety, depression, chronic stress, insomnia, night terrors and paranoia. When the 9 of Swords comes up for me, I always take it to mean the same thing. It's in your head, but that doesn't mean it isn't real. Crises of mental health and chronic stress are serious health problems that need to be dealt with. Your mental torment may be internal or stem from an external source, such as trauma or a person intentionally gaslighting you. Regardless of the problem, your emotional prison is not helping. What you need to do now is break the anxiety loop. The 8 of Swords teaches us that we are not as powerless as we feel. When the 9 of Swords comes, remember coping mechanisms that have worked for you in the past. Turn the swords away from yourself. I suggest reaching out for help from friends, family, community or a mental health professional. Talking about what is going on will be the best way to get out of your own head. So you can see they really do clarify. You know, this deck does clarify this one, so that's clever, isn't it? Should we do one more? While I'm here, I'm going to do one more just to see what we get. So the star. I need a card to clarify the star. Scales. Well, that's interesting, isn't it? That and that. So the scales. So with the 6 of Pentacles, because we've got Earth there, so we know it's a Pentacle card. So let's just see as a clarifier. The scales will fall on a situation that is out of balance. What can you do to even the scales? So here we've got water into water, water into earth, totally balanced. So I think what this is doing here is reinforcing this message to be in balance with life. So in the Fool's Journey, the star is the calm after the storm because it comes after the Tower. So it's rebalancing, isn't it, after trauma. So how to recover after that traumatic event in the Tower card. We have the Star. So yeah, I think that just reinforces that card, doesn't it? So yeah, this is really cool. I like it, actually. This is a way I can use this deck now. Instead of just leaving it in its box, I can actually use it, which I'm really happy about. So that was a worthwhile purchase, wasn't it? This might help. So yeah, I like it, actually, very much so. Yeah, there we go. This might hurt. This might help. Thank you so much for watching, and until my next video. Bye friends, bye.